Hello everyone, it is Pat with our Oracle card reading and message for this second week of February. February is rolling on in, and the beginning of February, around February 1st, is it's the celebration of Imbolc, I think from the pre-Christian times, and the celebration of Saint Bridget, because she was it's the time of the bringing of the light. You know, it's when the days, we more readily notice that the days are getting longer, that the light is coming back, and that pretty soon, you know, in times past, it was the signal that the lambing season was going to start. You know, Easter's on its way, that time of fertility and, you know, getting seeds sowed and planted again. So it's a really nice time. So for today's reading, and generally that is around the goddess or Saint Bridget. She's known as the bringer of the light. But so for today's reading, in addition to the Archangel Oracle cards that I'm going to use like I do every week, I'm going to be calling on goddess type energy cards, because it's that energy that's coming back into us. And, you know, I've just, with the events of the past week and the weekend, I just sort of feel like we could use a bit of that nurturing goddess type energy. So I have the Doreen's, you know, goddess guidance cards. Mother Mary also felt like she wanted to come in here with a message. And this is the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, which I really, really like. So maybe I'll just pick one from each and see what's going on. Or maybe I might have to do a part 2 to this video, because it might be a little bit too long for just one. Anyways, let's call on the Archangels and see who's working with us this week. See what's going on, what the energies are for the upcoming week. All right. They fly out of the deck like that on me. This is Archangel Arielle, the message of courage. And she says, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So Archangel Arielle, I want to say, I mean, she's depicted here in a more feminine aspect, that she has more of those qualities. She's an archangel who, kind of like Archangel Michael, she helps us to be courageous and speak up for ourselves, to stand in the truth of your own convictions, have the courage of your convictions. So she's also an angel of, she's very graceful. She's represented by the lion. It's often said when you see lions or lionesses, that it's a symbol of Arielle's, you know, it's kind of like a sign of her presence. She embodies those kinds of graceful movements that cats have. Arielle is very connected to the, you know, the fairy realm, and helps us with material supply. Okay. So I feel like this goes out to some of you who are getting ready to make some big changes in your life. Okay. Or maybe you've had some big changes that have already happened in your life. You know, for some of you, it may be by choice. Some of you, maybe it came upon you without, you know, without your conscious choice. But, so it's taking courage to step into new ground, you know, into either life without someone or without something, like a job, maybe if you just lost a job, or you're moving to a different area, or you're just taking steps to make big changes in your life. And maybe you feel a little vulnerable right now and uncertain of where it's going. But so, you know, Arielle comes in with this message when we need to stand up for ourselves and trust the path that we're following, you know, trust the intuitions that have guided you to this place. It really does, you know, have the courage of your convictions. The road that you're going to be walking, even though it feels uncertain to you right now, you know, it does have a positive effect, in the sense of other people might see how you stepped out of your comfort zone and, you know, followed your own truth, and that will, you know, it leads the way for other people. It gives them permission to do that as well. So, in fact, I want to read a little bit from her message on this card. she says, in this situation, you need to act upon your convictions, even if others disagree. Okay, it's an important form of spiritual teaching, because as you stand up for your beliefs, you become a role model for others. So it's a way in which your example gives others the courage to stand up for their own principles and their own beliefs. So, and, if you're concerned about, I don't know if you're going out on your own, how you're going to make it on your own, or you're following kind of a really different path, or you're going to, speak up to somebody, you can call upon Arielle and it's so interesting because before I came down to do this reading today, I said, go get dressed up, put something on because you're going to be in front of the camera. And I grabbed my pink sweater and my pink scarf. And light pink, this color light pink, is exactly the color of the light that Archangel Arielle has surrounding her. That's her light energy. And it's so funny because I grabbed it before I ever did anything with this card deck today. So I've called on Arielle many times. And if you're in need of money, material supply of any kind, she is an angel that you can call upon for emergency aid that way. And she'll help you to get the supply that you need, whether it's more money, more time, more food, something. She can help you with that. Okay. And she has, like I said, this beautiful light pink energy around her. It's both protective. It allows love in and love out, and it keeps out anything negative and nasty. And it's very comforting. She's got a very beautiful, comforting energy to her. So Archangel Arielle is working with us this week. So let's pull a card from the Goddess deck. Ooh. Oh, okay. So there's one that's flown out here. There was one that flipped over right away. So, and this is Donna. Says the High Priestess card. She says, you have divine knowledge that can help others through spiritual teaching. So this is for the beginning of our week. As you know, if you've watched my readings, I pull usually about 3 cards. Sometimes 4 come out. But this is for as we go into the beginning of our week this week, the Monday, Tuesday time frame, or including today as well. So this is about some of you working on sharing your knowledge. When Dana shows up, she's letting us know that we have knowledge and wisdom to share, that you can leverage your knowledge. And she says, help others through your spiritual teaching. She'll help you find platforms for it, whether it's, an online platform like a blog or a teleclass, or whether it's like a webinar, or whether it's through some other means. Maybe you get out and speak, or maybe you hold a group or something like that. She helps you to find different platforms. So, if you feel like you're not a tech savvy person, don't worry about it. There's plenty of other platforms out there, and she can help you to find the right one for you. But, it's about teaching and sharing your knowledge. And she's kind of giving us a nudge that it's important to get out there, especially at this time, because there's a lot of turmoil going on in different areas of the world. There's a lot of change, consciousness change, and things like that are happening. And it's important for us to be reaching out to others and sharing our wisdom and knowledge with them. Okay, so let's see what Mother Mary's message is for the middle of our week. Ooh, all right, she's come out with a couple of them here. Oh, okay, so the 2 messages that she's come out with are miracle and truth. All right, the miracle card message says, I trust in God to know the perfect solution to the situation. So the message that I get with these, it feels like, middle of the week, there's, you might be experiencing a bit of frustration. And you don't know how to resolve something or figure it out. And it may be that you're trying too hard to figure out something with your head, with your own resources and your knowledge and understanding. So with Mary's message, she's reminding you, okay, that you don't always have to know, you personally don't necessarily have to know how the situation is going to work out. Reach out to the divine. If Mother Mary is a divinity that you feel aligned with, reach out to her, or God, or whatever divinity it is you feel most aligned with. Miracles can happen when you ask for their help and intervention. They can intervene and help to resolve, and their resources are unlimited. So they can bring about solutions in ways that we could never even have thought of or planned for or brought about. So it's also about being honest with yourself. You may be struggling with something right now, and you just have to admit the truth about it, that you don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to resolve it. Okay? Be very honest with yourself. And it doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you're inadequate or anything like that. Sometimes we all encounter situations that are really rough to deal with, or that we just, within our scope of knowledge, we can't figure it out. And that's okay. So it's just a time to be, just be truthful and honest with yourself about that, and be willing to accept help when it's given or offered. The card says, I'm lovingly honest with myself and others. And given that Archangel Arielle is with us this week, it might mean it may mean the middle of the week, there's, a real honest conversation that you're going to have with somebody, where you really need to express your feelings, your concerns in a nice, or not, things need to get aired out. The truth needs to get aired out, or something like that. And it brings about miraculous solutions. Okay. So, that's our middle of the week cards here. And let's go to the angels, gods, and goddesses for the end of the week. It can be very, very healing and miraculous, too, to face a truth that you've been avoiding. We all do it sometimes. It's not easy. Our ego gets in the way a lot. So, the end of the week, we have this, she's the goddess of compassion. And it says, self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self-worth. All right? And this has to do with, maybe the truth that's coming to you is an awareness that you've been keeping yourself or making yourself small next to other people. There's sometimes this unwritten, I want to say, a way of being where, where we kind of make fun of ourselves. We bring our faults and shortcomings to the light as a way of, connecting with other people. Like, I'm not perfect, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a point where it reaches where it really is sort of masking an underlying feeling of, or issues of self-worth. We have to let go of our judgments, our deeply rooted judgments of ourselves, and understand that we're all doing the best that we can with the circumstances that we've been given. And to have deep regrets or deep judgment of ourselves doesn't serve us and doesn't serve anybody. And so I actually want to look in the book a little bit about this one, because I do like what it has to say, and it speaks a lot. So it's about being more compassionate towards yourself. At the core of every living thing, only love exists. Your personality and the role you play in this life is only transitory and ultimately an illusion. All that you perceive to be good or bad are necessary aspects of who you are. Positive and negative qualities exist in everyone and in everything. A more accurate description of positive and negative is the yin and yang, okay? So self-criticism is diminishing your sense of self-worth and keeping you in the illusion that you need to improve in order to be worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment. But have compassion, love, and accept all of who you are as you are. And stop striving for something that's impossible to attain. Now I'm going to have to close this one out and go on to video 2, I think. So we'll be back with you on the next video.